Hey guys, Savage Recovery back for another video. How are my savages doing? If you guys aren't subscribed, do me a favor. If you want to support the channel, subscribe, hit the bell, get all my notifications. Hit a like, comment, share, help me out with the algorithm. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, you can find me at savage_red_studios, where you can see all of my photography. And also I have a Facebook page and a Twitter. And you guys can check me out on Patreon. You guys can also check me out on the Cash App. Let's get into it. Mother and boyfriend arrested, charged in connection with death of 2-year-old Maliyah Bass. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce that name. But the little girl's last name was Bass. So the mother of 2-year-old little girl was found dead in Houston Bayou in August, as well as her boyfriend had been charged in connection with the child's death. The body was found in Bray's Bayou on August 23rd. The child's mother, Sarah Irvin, said she left the toddler alone for a few minutes in the Sunset Crossing Apartments courtyard a day before a jogger made the grisly discovery in the bayou. On Tuesday, Irvin, 20, and Travian Thompson, 21, were taken into custody and charged with injury to a child and tampering with evidence. Houston police said the charges were filed for their role in her death. The child's father still wants more answers. I want to know what actually happened to her, and I'm glad they found out about them. Body was found 25 miles away from where Irvin said she went missing. Police suspected foul play from the beginning of the investigation. So right here you can see the photos of these two, and this woman looks deranged. She look like she just there's like she's getting arrested and she's smiling in her mugshot. And when you're getting a mugshot, you know what you're being arrested for. So to have that photo, there's just something not right with this woman. Now, the father did an interview, and he had only got to see his daughter one time, and she was 2 years old. It's unfortunate that this story happens a lot, that the child goes with the mother, and the mother and the boyfriend, the guy that isn't paying child support, the guy that doesn't have no job, doesn't have a car, the guy that ain't shit, gets to see your kid all the time. You're not good enough to see your kid every day, but you're good enough to pay for that kid. It's sad that most times when children are killed by their parents, it's from either the mom or the mom's boyfriend. When it comes to children being sexually abused, it most of the time comes from the boyfriend or the men that the women or the mother is seeing. But you don't see those statistics. You don't hear about those statistics because at the end of the day, the system is made to breed more children into the system, to get more money out of men. Because most of the time when men get children, they're not going to go after child support for the mother. They just want the mother to be a part of their life if the mother is a decent person. As long as it's not affecting the child in a negative way, like drugs or random dudes or whatever it is, the father just wants them to be in their life. They don't want money. They don't want to go through the court system. When this story came out a few months ago, I already knew that it was they had killed the child. And it's sad that this keeps happening. This little girl was 2 years old. 2 years old. And this 20-year-old and 21-year-old who lived in an apartment, shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. He actually went out to the neighborhood that this little girl went missing in and interviewed the people that lived there. And there's not many people that go out and check into these stories that aren't necessarily part of the local news. So I do want to give a large shout out to Thomas Sotomayor, because there needs to be more attention brought to stories like this, because there's too many children that are dying or being abused because they get to go with their mom and their mother shouldn't have a kid. And the system is built to make sure those mothers get to keep those kids. They get a place to live, they get food stamps, they make the father pay child support, and the system intentionally makes it difficult for the father to get rights to their child or get custody of their kid. And even if you get 50-50 custody or you get visitation, if the woman decides to keep that child from you, you have to go and file at the court and pay more money to see your kids. So it's a lose-lose situation for you. It's just a lose-lose situation. It makes it to where it's too much work to see your kid because the mom doesn't want you to be a part of it. Like, split households are not good for kids. Not being able to see their father is not good. Child abuse, sexual abuse, and child abuse goes down when there's the father in the home. That statistic's proven. Men are more willing to stay in a divorce because of the children. 80% of all marriages are filed by the women. 50% of all marriages fail. So out of the 50% that fail, 80% of them are filed by the women. The reason that they're filed by the women, because the women don't care about about the children. They care about themselves, and they know they'll get the children. Men will be miserable, but they'll be miserable for their children. And it's sad that all these children need to keep being abused and getting killed, and they end up getting a memorial, and they end up getting thought about, and they end up getting, a couple news articles, and then time goes on and people forget. And then another child happens to them. This needs to stop. The last video I just uploaded was about cuties and about how they're being indicted in Texas, because this is from Houston, Texas. This happened in Texas, and the people that indicted cuties are also from Texas. We need to restructure the way the system works when it comes to parental rights. As always, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong. These stories are sad, and I'm sure that there's plenty more stories to bring light to. As always, guys, stay savage.